Hey everybody, I'm your host Dakota Graff, and today I'm going to be making another mocktail for you. We're calling this one Tropical Beverage. I'm going to be using our Tropical Weather blend. I've chosen this for its floral characteristics as well as its notes of tropical fruit. Let's talk about a few things you're going to need to make this mocktail. You'll need some bar tools. I'm using a 1.5 ounce jigger, a shaker, a gate for the shaker, and then a fine strainer to just sift out the rest of those fine ice chips. You'll need ground coffee, ground to medium fine, a decanter, a coupe glass. You'll need a way to juice a lime. You'll need a lime and an Aeropress with a stirrer. Let's talk about a few more ingredients that you'll need. The first ingredient is saline solution. Now I just made this saline solution by adding 4 grams of a kosher salt. Don't use iodized salt. It doesn't taste very good when you make it into a saline solution. And then 40 grams of hot water, and then I let it cool and dilute. I also made a Demerara simple syrup, which is just Demerara sugar combined with equal parts hot water. The last ingredient is oleosaccharum. Now this is a fancy name for something that's pretty simple. What I did was I skinned the pith off of a grapefruit and then I soaked it in about a half cup of sugar. You'll let that soak for about a day and it'll extract all the beautiful citrus oils with the sweetness of the sugar. All right, so let's begin. The first step is to prepare the coffee. What I'm gonna do first is just give my Aeropress filter a quick rinse. Make sure you discard your rinse water. Now for my brew recipe, I'm using 20 grams of coffee, ground at a medium fine, and I'm using 75 grams of 210 degree water. This is an extremely concentrated ratio. And I'm doing this because I look at, for a coffee mocktail, I'm using coffee as an ingredient. In order to highlight its flavors through the other ingredients, I chose to brew it at a very concentrated ratio. Now I like to stir this for about 30 seconds with high agitation. And then I wait for about 20 more seconds, and then I start plunging it around the 50-second mark. This is a really quick steep to add a nice pop of acidity while getting all the notes of the coffee. And for this recipe, I plunge all the way down and then set that aside. For the actual mocktail build, I'll start with my lime juice. I'm doing 3/4 of an ounce of lime juice. Now I'm splitting my sweeteners, half Demerara and half oleosaccharum. This equals a 1/2 ounce of sweetener. I found that the oleosaccharum makes up for the lack of alcohol in the cocktail with a nice oily texture as well as a little bit of a citrus zip. I'm also adding 2 drops of my saline solution, which curbs the bitterness from the concentrated coffee as well as amplifies all the citrus notes. And then I just add my ice. And then don't forget, if you have it, to double strain this mocktail. It's a nice touch when your beverage doesn't have a lot of small ice chips in it. Set those aside. And then last, garnish it with a lime wheel so you get all the aromatics. The idea behind this beverage is centered around the flavor notes of the tropical weather blend. Oftentimes when I want to create a coffee mocktail, I start with the base flavors of the coffee and then work forward from there. The addition of oleosaccharum, demerara, really adds a very good base sweetness to the coffee, whereas a light liquor like rum would generally add that base sweetness. I don't know what else I'm talking about.